Are you ready, Leafs Nation? Huge trade rumors are swirling around as the March 7th deadline approaches, and the Maple Leafs are eyeing some big names on the market. With a focus on strengthening their forward lines, could a veteran playmaker with playoff experience be on the horizon? Stay tuned, because this could change everything for our quest for the Cup. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to stay updated on all the latest Leafs news. As we dive into the latest trade targets from Frank Seravalli's list for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's hard not to feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. The deadline is fast approaching on March 7th, and GM Brad Treliving has some crucial decisions to make. After a busy offseason reshaping the blue line, the forward group could use a bit of that same attention. With only Steven Lorentz and veteran Max Pacioretty joining the ranks, the Leafs need to bolster their depth, especially when it comes to scoring and playoff experience. First up, let's talk about Yanni Gourde from the Seattle Kraken. At 32 years old, Gourde has seen better production seasons, but he brings invaluable playoff experience to the table. He's a two-time Stanley Cup champion, and his 83 playoff games could be a game-changer for the Leafs. Despite struggling this season, he's versatile enough to play both center and wing, and you have to believe a change of scenery could reignite his scoring touch. His contract might seem steep at $5.166 million, but if the Leafs can negotiate salary retention or involve a third team, this could be a worthwhile investment. Then there's Brandon Tanev, also from the Kraken. He's got a similar age and contract profile, but what stands out is his relentless forechecking and energy. Tanev's speed and competitive nature would fit right into the Leafs' identity, especially on that third line, where they could use someone who knows their role and plays it well. Tanev's recent scoring surge, 5 points in his last 5 games, shows he's capable of contributing offensively, and he's currently on pace for a career high in goals. Imagine him and Gourd coming in to add some grit and experience to a lineup that often relies heavily on its stars. But are these the right moves? It's a tricky balance. Adding both Gourd and Tanev could significantly enhance the depth and playoff readiness of the squad. Their combined experience would not only help during the regular season but could be crucial when the games tighten up in the playoffs. Yet, it's important to remember that we're not just looking for bodies. We need players who can gel with the existing roster and elevate the team's overall performance. Now, not every name on Seravalli's list fits the Maple Leafs' needs. I can't see the team making a move for Trevor Zegras or Daniel Vladar, and the defensive targets don't seem to align with what the Leafs need right now. Mike Matheson is intriguing, but adding to the blue line isn't a priority. The focus should remain on enhancing the forward group to give this team the best chance at a deep playoff run. Ultimately, Treliving has plenty of options ahead of him, and I expect some action before the deadline. The pressure is on to find the right balance of skill, experience, and grit. As fans, it's our job to stay engaged and voice our opinions. Do you believe adding players like Gourd and Tanev is the right path? Personally, I'm torn. On one hand, their experience and skill could be exactly what the team needs to finally break through. On the other hand, we need to ensure we're not just stacking the roster but finding the right fit for what we're trying to accomplish. So, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe these potential trades could elevate our chances? Or do you think we should hold out for something bigger? Let's debate in the comments below. The Toronto Maple Leafs are facing a challenging phase, and with injuries piling up, it's clear that they need to make some strategic decisions to keep their playoff hopes alive. Currently, they have 6 forwards out of the lineup, with 5 on the injured list and Ryan Reeves suspended. As we look ahead, the status of Matthew Knies is also uncertain after taking a heavy hit from Zach Whitecloud. The team is in a bind, particularly because they're missing key players who can play center, which makes a trade for a center a realistic necessity. Even before the injury woes, there were discussions about the need for a third-line center. While players like Pontus Holmberg and Max Domi have been stepping in, the third line hasn't exactly been effective. Coach Craig Berube has explored various options, including moving John Tavares to a center role on the third line, but that experiment hasn't quite taken off. Tavares is playing well, averaging a point per game and showing he can still hold down a second-line position. But the reality is, the Leafs need depth at center if they want to remain competitive. So, who are some of the names on Toronto's radar? According to insights from James Myrtle and Luke Fox, there's a variety of options out there. Brock Nelson from the Islanders, Nazem Kadri from the Flames, and Ryan O'Reilly from the Predators are just a few names being thrown around. However, the reality is that some of these options might not be feasible, especially with Kadri's hefty contract and O'Reilly's past feelings about the Toronto media circus. Players like Frank Vatrano and Trent Frederic are intriguing, but they come with their own sets of challenges. Vatrano's scoring ability is undeniable, but his style might not mesh with Berube's heavy, north-south game. Frederic is tough and can play a solid forechecking game, but trading with a division rival like the Bruins could be complicated. Realistically, players like Nelson, Gourd, and Granlund appear to be more attainable targets, given their contracts are winding down. However, the challenge lies in convincing opposing GMs to part with these players, especially when they play critical roles for their respective teams. Nelson is a key scorer for the Islanders, while Granlund leads the Sharks in points. Gourd, while not a prolific scorer, has been contributing consistently. Among the more viable options, Bjugstad and Faksa stand out. Bjugstad, with his size and experience, could be a game-changer. He's been in a playoff race before and knows what it takes to succeed in the postseason. Plus, the Leafs lack a right-shot center, and acquiring Bjugstad could help address that gap. He's shown he can be effective in crucial face-off situations, and his previous playoff experience with the Oilers last season is a significant asset. Now, let's talk about the implications of these potential trades. If the Leafs can secure a player like Bjugstad or Faksa without breaking the bank, it could bolster their lineup significantly. The goal is to not just survive the regular season but to make a deep playoff run, and having experienced players can make all the difference when the pressure is on. But I have to ask, do you think this is the right direction for the team? I, for one, am feeling a bit torn. On one hand, bolstering the center position is crucial, but on the other, we need to ensure we're not giving up too much in return. It's a delicate balance, and I'm eager to hear what you think. What are your expectations for the Leafs as we move forward? Are there players you think they should target or avoid? Let's get the conversation going in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts, frustrations, and hopes regarding the trades and the season ahead. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates on the Toronto Maple Leafs. You won't want to miss any of the action, so be sure to hit that notification bell to stay informed.